The United States was humiliated today by our two most powerful leaders as they tried to strong-arm Vladimir Zelenskyy into signing an agreement against the betterment of Ukraine. These two men, you know their names, attempted to force the Ukrainian president to sign a deal in exchange for mineral rights, but also a ceasefire with Russia. These two men attempted to tell Volodymyr Zelenskyy that he was being unreasonable by not agreeing to a ceasefire, but Zelenskyy brought to their attention that Russia has been attacking Ukraine since 2014, when they seized and annexed Crimea, and Europe and the United States did next to nothing to help them. President Zelenskyy brought up a very good point where he said that in 2018 or 2019, they signed a ceasefire with Russia, and Ukraine was given assurances by the United States and most of Europe that no way Russia would violate this ceasefire agreement, and of course, they got natural gas contracts. Zelenskyy was also promised at the time a release of Ukrainian hostages from Russia. That never happened, and then Russia began to violate the ceasefire. In 2021, 93,902 ceasefire violations were recorded at the hands of Russia by the OSCE. Now, when Zelenskyy mentioned these ceasefire violations, this man, the orange guy, said, well, these violations happened under Biden. Biden was weak. They wouldn't do that with me if I was around. I strongly advise anyone who is on either side of the political spectrum to watch the entirety of this exchange. Now, near the end of this exchange, I want you guys to see what this orange man said in response to the backlash that President Vladimir Putin had to face while he was president the first time, because I couldn't make any sense of it. I was wondering if there are any people in his cult that could possibly break this down for me.
Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me.
At the conclusion of this exchange, Zelenskyy was threatened with, you're either with us and you sign this agreement, or we're out and you have to face it on your own. One of the reasons why our society has been able to progress in this manner and we have the technology and the rights that we do is because there is a strong rule of law, not just in this country, but in most of the developed world and even in the developing world, because there is international law and the US abides by a lot of these international laws. But we are directly violating it because in 1994, we signed the Budapest Memorandum where we promised Ukraine that if they gave up all of their nuclear weapons, and they had a lot, that the United States would defend them in case Russia attacked. And we are failing in that right now. Needless to say, the meeting did not end well. President Zelenskyy left the White House. They didn't even have lunch, so no agreement was made whatsoever. So it looks like for now, Ukraine will only be relying on Europe and other NATO partners instead of the United States in their conflict against Russia. Tonight, I will be working on a much longer breakdown of everything that happened because it is quite a lot. I hope you join me in watching it. I am the Geo Hussar, and the world deserves better than this.